The daughter she called her sister. April 24, 2012. A young woman leaves home to meet her mother. She thinks they're going shopping. Maybe dinner. Maybe a chance to fix a damaged relationship. But what she doesn't know is that this would be the last night of her life. And what investigators would uncover 3 years later would shock an entire nation. Because the woman accused of planning her murder wasn't a stranger, wasn't an enemy, wasn't even a jealous ex. According to police, it was her own mother. This is the chilling story of Sheena Bora, and the dark family secret that turned into one of India's most disturbing crime mysteries. Before we begin, make sure you're subscribed, because today's case is one of those stories that becomes more disturbing the deeper you go. And trust me, this one gets darker every minute. At first glance, the life of Indrani Mukherjee looked perfect. She was wealthy, powerful, connected to some of the biggest names in Indian media. Together with her husband, Peter Mukherjee, she moved among celebrities, business executives, and social elites. To outsiders, they looked like the definition of success. But behind the expensive clothes, luxury homes, and glamorous lifestyle, investigators would later uncover a web of secrets, lies, and hidden identities. Because there was something strange about Indrani's family, something she desperately wanted to keep hidden. For years, she introduced two young people, Sheena Bora and Mikhail Bora, as her younger siblings. Everyone believed it. Friends believed it. Business associates believed it. Even some family members stayed silent. But according to investigators, those weren't her siblings at all. They were her children. And that secret would become the center of one of India's biggest criminal investigations. By 2012, Sheena was 25 years old, educated, independent, working in Mumbai, building her own future. She had a promising career and plans for the future. But there was another complication. She was in a relationship with Rahul Mukherjee. And Rahul happened to be Peter Mukherjee's son from a previous marriage. The relationship reportedly created tension within the family. Arguments became common. Disagreements intensified. And according to various reports, the family dynamic became increasingly complicated. Then came April 24, 2012. The day everything changed. That evening, Sheena agreed to meet Indrani. Nothing seemed unusual. Just a mother and daughter meeting in the city. Or at least, that's what it appeared to be. Hours later, Sheena vanished. Completely. No calls. No sightings. No confirmed contact. Just gone. First, people believed she had simply moved away. Some were told she went abroad. Others received messages claiming she wanted a new life. Even Rahul received texts that appeared to come from Sheena herself. But something felt wrong. Very wrong. Because according to Rahul, the messages didn't sound like her. And despite repeated questions, nobody could explain where she really was. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. Yet somehow, no major investigation happened. No public search. No answers. It was as if Sheena Bora had simply disappeared from the face of the earth. Then, 3 years later, everything exploded. And it happened completely by accident. In 2015, police arrested a man named Shyamvar Rai in an unrelated matter. During questioning, he allegedly revealed something horrifying. A secret he had supposedly kept for years. According to investigators, Sheena Bora had not run away. She had not moved abroad. She had not started a new life. She was dead. And what he described next stunned investigators. Police alleged that a murder had taken place inside a car. According to the prosecution's version of events, Indrani had arranged a meeting with Sheena. Her former husband, Sanjeev Khanna, was allegedly involved. And driver Shyamvar Rai was allegedly present. Investigators claimed that after Sheena entered the vehicle, she was attacked. Authorities later alleged that she was strangled to death. True. It meant the young woman had unknowingly entered a trap. A trap allegedly planned by people she trusted. But the horror didn't end there. Police alleged that after the murder, the body was transported outside Mumbai, into a remote forested area in Raigad. There, according to investigators, petrol was poured over the remains. and a fire was started, an attempt to erase all evidence forever. For years, nobody connected the unidentified remains to Sheena. The truth remained buried, hidden beneath ash, hidden beneath lies, hidden beneath silence, until the case reopened. Soon, the story dominated headlines across India. Television channels covered it day and night. Every new revelation seemed more shocking than the last. People couldn't believe what they were hearing. A mother accused of murdering her own daughter? A daughter introduced as a sister? Secret relationships? Missing years? Burned remains? It sounded less like reality, and more like a crime thriller. Yet investigators insisted the evidence pointed toward a carefully planned conspiracy. Then came another major development: forensic testing. Investigators recovered skeletal remains from the area identified during the investigation. DNA analysis was later reported to strongly connect the remains to Sheena Bora. For many people, that was the moment the case became terrifyingly real. Because until then, some still hoped Sheena might somehow be alive. But the forensic findings painted a very different picture. Soon after, arrests followed. Indrani Mukherjee was arrested. Sanjeev Khanna was arrested. Driver Shyamvar Rai became a crucial figure in the investigation. Later, Peter Mukherjee was also arrested in connection with the case. The media frenzy became enormous. Every courtroom appearance generated headlines. Every witness statement sparked debate. And every new theory fueled public fascination. But here's where the story becomes even more complicated. Because despite years of investigation, the legal battle is still not completely over. The case has continued through courts for years. Witnesses have testified. Arguments have changed. Claims and counterclaims have emerged. And several aspects remain heavily disputed. Indrani has repeatedly denied the allegations. In interviews after receiving bail, she questioned parts of the investigation and forensic evidence. Meanwhile, prosecutors continue pursuing the case. Even today, court proceedings and legal disputes related to the investigation continue making news. And perhaps that's what makes the Sheena Bora case so haunting. Not just the alleged crime itself, but the layers of deception surrounding it. The hidden identities, the family secrets, the unanswered questions, and the disturbing possibility that for years, the truth was hiding in plain sight. Was it greed? Was it reputation? Was it family conflict? Or was there something even darker behind the scenes? The courts are still examining the evidence. But one thing is certain: the disappearance of Sheena Bora became one of the most shocking crime mysteries in modern Indian history. And even after all these years, people are still asking the same question: what really happened that night? If you enjoyed this true crime story, subscribe for more real cases, mysteries, and unsolved investigations. Because sometimes, the most terrifying stories are the ones that actually happened.